Well, students, we're going to keep working on these ocean life pictures. I do want you to really practice great skills of observation to try to make them look real. So looking for a color, finding it, mixing it, then looking for another color, finding it, mixing it to help make it look real. So I'm going to move down here, and we are going to use these color sticks because I do have enough of them. I do want you to look carefully. Try not to cover up your marker line because these color sticks will just cover up the black lines. So I'm just kind of tracing around those shapes. I'm going to fill this in. I'm pressing it on pretty hard. White is one of the colors that I'm not going to mix as much with. I might add, it looks like there's almost a little bit of like light gray in there, so I might add that, but otherwise the white is one of the few colors that's going to stand on its own in this particular example of this clownfish. Now, once I'm done with this color, I'm going to make sure to put it back in the box. We said, let's make sure that we don't put any of them on to the table because they can fall off the table and get broken. So here, I'm gonna finish that in, and then we'll put this back, find its spot. Then I'm gonna use the orange that I see, and I'm gonna start off with this orange. I'm just looking for that color. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit lighter because I wanna be able to mix that brownish red in there. I'm gonna use some of that here. We'll use that down here. I see that also kind of in this space here, but it's gonna get some brown too. I always save black for last because I don't want that to be smearing into my bright colors, like smearing into my orange and other things. So bring that down here. Looks like there's this color fin here, and a little bit in here too. Now once I've found all of those spots that are orange, let's take a little bit of this yellow orange. Let's get that to mix in here. I'm using a lot of pressure to press that color on well. Get a little bit of that up here and in here. Then let's find some brown. The brown will make this orange look a little bit darker, especially in here where that fin is. And then in through here. You see this is taking a lot of time. If I were to be working on this by myself, I would be spending even more time coloring this. So please know this is not quite my best. I would do a better job than this. And then when I'm done with that, sometimes I even like to add like a little bit of red orange into some of it too. It can help make it look more real. And I was having some students with the eye color, just coloring it all one color. This is brown and black, and it might even have a little dot of white in here to help make it look more real. So please don't color the eye just one color and cover up all those details. I believe this one is dark blue, this one is black. So you want to find the correct color there, and we said black would probably be the last color I would use. Once I'm done working on the fish, if it looks really real, then I'm going to start working on the background. With the background, I could spend a very, very long time coloring the background, so I'm probably in this example won't color all of it, but same as the fish, I'm going to be doing a lot of mixing to make it look real. So here, my fish looks pretty good. I think I might come back and add a little more color to it later, but I'm gonna start working on the background. The background that I drew came mostly from the poster that's on the board. So I might have a little bit of rock formation that's on the bottom that might be a little bit of blacks and grays. But then I'm also gonna have layers of sand. So here, I'm gonna probably give you a gray crayon with your box too, since there aren't gray color sticks in there. So if you do wanna use a little bit of gray, I'll give you a gray crayon and that'll work with the black. So I can get some of those rock formations down, then pressing that on pretty hard. Then I'm gonna do maybe some sandy colors. We got some sand in here. I'm gonna start mixing that with some different golden colors, because I might have kind of this sandy color, but then I'm gonna bring it up and maybe this one's a lot the same, but it'll be a different color. That looks kind of sandy. Coloring all around my fish. There's these colors too that could work, like this one could be a good sandy color in here to get a good mix. And I do want to go right out to the edge of my page. If you do get a little bit of color on to the onto the table, that's all right. Just be careful to color it in carefully and get right out to the edge. Then maybe within the bottom here, some of these rock formations might have a little bit of brown in here too. I'm using kind of a red brown, but then I'm gonna mix it with a darker brown. So please don't color it just all one color. I wanna find colors that are gonna help make it look as real as possible. So we'll take some of this, mix that in. And I love how these color sticks are just really smooth. It's easy to get them to mix and blend. Fill in all of those blue spots. And then once I have those sections done, then I'm gonna work on some of these rock details. So I might go back to a little bit of black here. Get those filled in. And then I'm gonna mix those with a little bit of gray and a little bit of white. Let's move up to the seaweed. I'll come back to add that white in here. So there's a little more work time for you. Seaweed and plants can be a lot of colors. That's one of the cool things about being underwater is they don't always have to be green. I'm gonna do some of this seaweed with some green, but I'm not gonna use all the same color green. And it climbs up here behind my fish. And I'm gonna color that all the way down to the bottom. Then I'm gonna find maybe another green. This green could go good. And then let's find even another green. Let's use maybe this mint green. So you can see there's tons of greens in this box. So you could do a 3-4 color mix. Even adding a little bit of white in there can help make it look real. Just like underwater plants can be many different colors. Coral can be different colors too. I might do one of these coral examples with some pinks and some reds, but I might make some of them with some orange or purple or pink or something like that. So let's do this one with maybe this pink into this really light pink. One thing that you don't need to color, you don't have to color the water blue because the paper is already blue. So that's why I'm focusing so much time on coloring this background. I think I'm gonna do maybe this coral over here with some red. We'll make this one like a red-orange coral. Still using a lot of pressure. If for some reason you think that you're done today, I do want you to maybe add another layer of red to the red. Maybe do another mix. Maybe add a little bit of white to something. White can make things look a little bit more shiny or 3D. So these are all things that I would think about when you're making a picture that is underwater. We'll switch to orange then. And then I think I'm gonna do one more coral over here with some purples. So this could be kind of a cool looking coral. I do some purple maybe into some light purple or magenta or pink or something like that. Okay. I still have quite a bit more work to do on this. I don't want you to think that it's done. I'm trying my best to do a good job putting the color sticks back in the box every time that I use one so that none of them ever get broken. Trying to do a good job of mixing, pressing the color on hard, getting right out to the edge too. Now, do this little jellyfish over here. I'll mix a little bit of white into him, a little bit. And so, just like I was saying, you can always go back, add a little bit of white to mix into something and make it look more real. I want to do one last small example. I know this one is not totally done. I've got quite a few areas that I still will color and make look a little bit better. But the one other thing that I wanted to show is some of you have gone really fast on coloring a shark or coloring the dolphin. If you are doing that, I'm probably gonna ask you to color it one more time to make sure that it really looks like your best. You can see that with this shark, I put a really light layer of black on there because it's the darkest right there. Then I'm gonna take my gray and I'm gonna put that into that and I'm gonna mix that black into the gray. I do have to press it on pretty hard. One thing that I've seen students doing is that they're coloring it all gray. Well, it's not all gray. It's got some black, it's got some gray, it's got some white. It might even have a little bit of blue in here. You can see that I'm gonna color around the eye. I'm gonna bring that gray into here because it goes kind of around the mouth. And then if I need to blend these together better, I can add a little bit of white to it too. So there's kind of this stripe that I had right there. So I'm gonna take that and put that on. I have these gills. This is really, really dark right here. So I'm gonna come back and add a little bit of black to it. And then we'll mix that together. Make sure these gills are dark enough. And then if I need to, I can put in a little bit lightly. If you put the white on really hard with this, it's just gonna turn it all white. So for this portion, you can see that I'm just using it kind of lightly as a way to help me mix it. And then I'm gonna come back, put some of those details back in. And then the bottom of this shark, I can see has a lot of white in it. So please think about that stuff, trying to make it look really real. You can see the eye right here is white. And then in order to make this look a little more real too, I'm gonna have to take this gray, mix those two together, put a little bit of more pressure, trying to fill in all of those white spots. And then I might have to come back in areas where the black lines have gotten covered up by this gray, and I have to put them back in. It's like the mouth kind of got covered up. So let's take that and take this black at the end and fix that up a little bit so that those black lines show up. Okay, so please take your time, try to make this look as real as you can. I have a lot more work to do on this shark. I think the shark and the dolphin, creating these gray colors is probably the trickiest of all of the fish to do, just to get that gray color to be the right thing, because there's so many different colors within that. So I'll keep working on this. I just wanted to point out that I see some students that are just coloring them all gray. There's gray, there's black, there's white. There might even be a little bit of blue in here to make it look more real. So let's keep working on these. Let's have fun.